Hello. We are again at a time when there is much activation. We see streaks of light. We must tell you about the sun. Yesterday we saw the sun. She was told to get in her car, she would see the sun. And what she saw coming from the sun was extraordinary. She's still seeing the rays and very wondering if you're going to see them. But these same rays which she's seeing here and here, especially, but were also coming this way, were coming from the sun. And they could be described as liquid white angelic light. And of course, you know, the angelic part, well, that's just a word that is a code or a symbol for purity and for love and for magic and for, but purity. It was astounding. This is the same light which was sneaking into people's hospital rooms and breaking into dark areas that hold despair and sadness and fear, which of course she did too. Yes, very much so. And of course there are mornings where she wakes up, oh, I must pull all of them, oh, I did not understand, and now that I understand, I want no one to see that I was standing within misunderstanding. Let no one say I'm dumb. This is how she sees it, always thinking that she is not very smart and she just needs to get it. Well, we would say that the last few days she has gotten quite a lot, and we will quickly explain. But this light, it is so beautiful, it's part of the explanation. So let us go back. The ones who have been reading well, good for you. The ones who have not, well, then you need a little review. So this one came in wide open, and barely conscious of any of it, but enough that and very good at listening, and it's such a relief to her, even as baby. So the Bible and the spaceship in the sky and all kinds of stuff. I feel so much better. And the baby with wee getting big, ooh getting little, ooh getting big, ooh getting little. So we would visit and talk and play and remind her of home. Much like the same energy that people have in a near-death experience, except of course when you're a teeny tiny baby, then that's all you know, and then bit by bit, ooh, but it doesn't hurt. It just is an easing into the reality, and then sometimes with an imaginary friend, she never had one, but that she can remember, and then it begins. You know, there's much that needs to be accomplished. And it is. In her 20s, she met by chance someone who introduced her to a channeler. She'd already been to many in video form and some in person, and she saw it as a legitimate art. So she sat in front of the gale and we came through, and it was just like being home. She has talked a little bit about it. She would come in with a problem and then it would be gone within 2 or 3 minutes. Oh, what was I worrying about? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm loved. Really? You'll answer all my questions? Right now? Even the secret ones? This is what we did. And we taught her much about DNA, about the Merkaba, about light activation, about travel, about many things. And it went on, and we explained we would be ascending, and they were all going to be helping. It wasn't just her working with teachers. The teachers worked with many. Yes. And the teachers are many and work with all. And so it happened that there was a dispersal of this ascended energy into the planet. You can call it ascended energy, embodiment energy, DNA activation energy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The correct word has not been chosen by the human beings who are experiencing it. And once they all come together and say, okay, let's call it this, it doesn't give anyone the willies, then we'll know what it's going to be called. But for now, let's just for today call it the ascension energy, okay? So we say, okay, after that, after the 12-12, we do sunrise, we do 12-12 little ceremony, and then we do sunset. And then we are no longer available to the 3D because we are unable to bridge the gap. Well, this was as true as not, and we will explain the mechanics later. And so this was a great grief for her. She had in her life experienced many sudden abandonments, which breaks in reality when then she didn't know how to cope. And this was the worst loss of all in many ways, in all ways. And then it came back, the energy came back in 12. She knew what it was. She said, oh, I've been trained. I know this. I know this. But the teachers were nowhere to be found. Funny how it works out in the end. So, we will say that now what you're experiencing in the Krayan has been talking about it. So has the Michelle Karen. So have a lot of people. The Pane Andov, we talked about him, and the crop circle. They all talk about this little ribbon. What is this about? The crop circle even have the, it's a calendar, and it's then it's next to a depiction of what happens to the sun. And it has the 5 sun. It's a very pretty picture. So an ascension wave goes up and down or back and forth or in and out. It's telescopic. So as it comes from and goes to, then it hits the 2, and that creates a and it's telescopic. It's so pretty. This is the eye of God. She experienced the telescopic, and then she's been experiencing it a lot more. It's beautiful. And this is the ascension energy. She has the DNA and the experience and the utter will. She would not have accepted anything less this lifetime. Have you not read the essays? I came here to ascend. Everything else is just a sideshow. So there. Not entirely understanding what she was saying, but understanding that that was it. She was here to ascend. Well, guess what, Gally? So, what does it mean to you who may actually, I don't know, share a bus seat with her, or a vacation, a lifetime? What does this mean? Well, it turns her into a nice person, It makes her less neurotic and afraid of herself, and therefore she is no longer concerned about hurting others quite so much, because she understands about compassion and its higher octave, benevolence, and understands there's always more. So you understand the light is doing things it shouldn't. Yes. There is no light source here. None. It's dark. So we see what happens. And we see fuzziness. We'll see. There may not be any anomaly. It doesn't matter. What matters is this. We showed her. We told her, hey, guess what? All our communications are going to go down right away. Boom, boom, boom. Like that. They're going to be, well, we didn't tell her that. We just told her that she would be cut off. All communication. For a short time. Immediately she knew that she would be getting heat from certain individuals, and told that she did not have worth because the bills weren't paid. And she understood that this was a recalibration and a final one that had to do with how she was going to communicate in the future with all. So she said on video, well, guess what? And she also told her sister later, well, another directive, that if I explain, I invite myself to criticism that I'm crazy. And if I don't explain, I get criticisms because I am not doing things right. Oh, goody. This has been her life. Just learning how to not attend to the criticisms which implored her to stay on the path. There are many paths she would have preferred staying on, and yet here she is. So it's a good path to be on. And so of course, we have said, you all serve as mirrors for each other. We serve as a mirror for her as the teachers. What exactly does that mean? It means that she has been through this before, and has she not said that again and again and again? She has also talked about probable selves. She has mentioned future selves. And one of her most revered teachers, Richard, trained her in communicating with probable and future selves. Is it so odd to think that she was sitting before the consciousness of a future self of hers? And in the end, what does the word self mean? Is this not identity? And is the identity of a 5-year-old the same as the identity of a 55-year-old? If she were to go back and see her 5-year-old, well, our guess is that she would want to tend to her and love her, not to educate her. Love her with love so thick and true and pure that she would walk through the coming few years feeling more protected And we can assure you that speaking with the Melissa has confirmed that yes, I mean, what's the point? Is this energy just conferred on the ones who are clever? We would say no. Cleverness has nothing to do with it. No. Love has everything to do with it. And compassion. And benevolence. So, is it so odd? The sun's rays coming down like liquid white purity, liquid white hope. She said, oh, I wish I was in the liquid. Just by looking at it, dear one, just by imagining it, is all that needs to be done at this point. That light comes on and goes into the atmosphere and to the grids and is as available as your next breath. So, all the power went down. She said something on a transmission that of course was not published, which was incendiary actually, but would appear to be quite innocent. However, she could feel that it simply wasn't, and it was the first time in quite a while that came through, and boy oh boy, boom boom boom, she could feel the reverberation. It was not pleasant, which she has since understood that this is a very helpful teaching which will assist her in instruction of others. And so all the communications went down, boom boom boom. And she walked around, she said, like she was on the dark side of the moon. Ooh, I like being disconnected. And she never would have done it. So, there you go. And we explained, okay, this is the picture we gave her when we told her, because immediately she felt that she was a failure for not paying a bid. So we showed her this. We showed her tangle, 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 black line, tangle, one line, tangle, 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 tangle. And we said, this is how things are, even with all your work. Now, little tiny white black line, and then flowers. Just flowers, no lines. And that this was necessary. Overnight, there was an activation which did not require the things that she doesn't like, but did make her sweat a lot. And she went to hug her son, and he complained about her being sweaty about 11:30. And then she went to sleep and went fast to sleep and woke up effective, on target, and connected and joyful and clear. And this has to do with her energy. We explained about her being an energetic master. We gave her free rein, and she explained very, 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 very well just what it is she does naturally, and it is not entirely natural. Then the next day we said, okay, it's your turn, you do it, you tell the people. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Finally, she did it. And she thought she'd failed the test, because instead of revealing what it is that she does that makes her unusual, blah blah blah, no, she spent her 20 minutes talking about the responsibilities inherent in being aware of energy and the laws, and what happens when you violate these very simple laws. And they're not punishments, they're just simple mechanics. based in physics, but it's important to know how to manage your energy. And she did that. And she thought and said on another thingy, hey, I just gave rules. I don't want to give rules. And we said, dear one, no, you graduated by saying those rules. It's important. If you want to be an instructor or an assister or someone who can lend peace and ease, it's no longer time to boast. And she is not someone who boasts at all. She had to be pushed and pushed and pushed, to be honest, to reveal just a little bit of the beauty inside of her. And this will remain hidden, much of it, to all but perhaps one lucky human being. But perhaps not anyone human. Who knows? The most precious information stays unspoken, stays unwritten. And what stands is information that all can learn from, draw peace from, and understanding on how to be more responsible energetically, interpersonally, behaviorally, socially, politically, and we would say taking out and showing what it is that makes you special. Well, good, enjoy it, celebrate it, and do it in complete and utter abandonment like a child. Hey, look what I can do. Hey, look what I can do. But there are times and places for that, and not this kind of video. No. So she passed the test, thinking that she hadn't. And then the sweat, and then the sleep, and then the flowers. The flowers. Lots of flowers today. Lots of them. And more to come. In all days, in all ways. As within, so without. As above, so below. And to all we wish you such peace, such harmony, quiet in your soul, peace and hope in your heart, curiosity, without shame, without comparison. Oh my, that is such a virus. It needs to end, even among this community. Oh. And the offers of the assumptions that people you are speaking with know less than you do probably needs to stop quite soon. In the meantime, there'll be a lot more. Oh, that sounds fascinating. Please tell me, Ma. How did you come to learn that? Oh, I see. Really? Oh no, that's okay. I don't tend to learn that way, but I appreciate the offer. Yes. Okay. We say namaste. We look for anomaly, and then if there are, perhaps we post, and if there are not, then perhaps we don't. And we have a sense that if we kept going on, you would see some things. But we're waiting for the Sam until he is safely put in his bed. It's best to be aware he may be coming back any moment, and keep it quiet. We love you and wish you every happiness. in your life, in your day, in this evening while you slumber. A release of worry, a release of anxiety, a release of utility. All of this in Ma. We ask you consider asking for comfort, suspending disbelief long enough to simply ask. Perhaps tonight, quietly, secretly, don't tell anybody, but whisper into your pillowcase. Is there anybody out there? Is that old lady crazy? You ask. Asking shall be given to you. Knock and the door will be opened. Zela.